Hey, good morning, folks. Started late, but here we are. I'm dressed up this morning because I've been doing some practice shoots, practice filming to learn how to do it theatrical, cinematic. That's a word a lot of people hate to hear these days. So it got overused apparently. Hey, good boy, look at him. I was wanting to ride my horse, but I got to go get her. Let's see if I can whistle her and get her over here. Hey, Nam Nam can. Not working. Nam Nam can. She's over there. So I keep one horse loose and two horses pinned up. That way, the one that's alone is alone by choice. It walks away if it wants to. But then the other two that have no choice don't have to be alone. So it's a good deal. Here she comes. And then this one gets to eat. There's not a lot of good graze right now because I'm not irrigating. But there is some grass if they'd actually go after it. But they also like this dry stuff. I mean, check this out. She's eating away. And then there's a few pieces of green. But horses actually love dry graze. They don't like it exclusively. They really like to have good stuff too. But from my observations, it's about 50-50 when they've got the choice. When they can choose. Oh, and they like to give back too. They don't just take. Morning, Craig, down in Texas. Let's see if we get any more viewers, for goodness sake. I was looking at my analytics this morning or last night, and live videos don't have a high retention rate. So a retention rate is how long people watch, like 50% of the video, 40% of the video. And my live videos are always pretty low as far as retention. That's why there's some people that really like them, but obviously they're not for the broader audience. So I thought, how are they doing on this channel since I switched channels? Because, I used to get around 300 to 500 views on my other channel on the live videos. Used to be close to 500 all the time. And then it dropped down to less than 300. And anyway, so I thought, well, how is it on this channel where people come here intentionally? And and the percentage is just the same. So even though the views are way lower on here, the retention level is the same, meaning not good, which is kind of funny because it seems like we brought the people here that like watching the live videos, and yet it's the same amount of people that click off. Stats are funny, analytics are funny. If I can do this. Oh yeah, I forgot to get a tripod. Hey, quit chasing him. Comanche Moon is so mean. She's fine with him when it's just them. But then when I come around, or if Nam Namkin comes around, then Comanche Moon chases Sam away. Poor guy, he's such a sweet horse. But That's all right. At least when they're alone, they get to hang out together. All right. So for you who don't know, I'm putting the halter on her so I can lead her around. Oops, sorry, good girl. It's not easy to do one-handed. Okay. All right, there we go. Craig just says, yeah, I'm dressed up. Yes, I am, because I've been doing these practice videos. I keep mentioning I'm going to be shooting a short film soon, a Western. Oh, she doesn't know why we're walking away now. I'm going to be shooting a Western, and so I've been practicing. Even if I don't run the camera when I shoot it, I want to know what I'm doing or what's going on. I want to know what shots work. Like I've got it in my mind. Oh shoot. I've got it in my mind, but I want to be able to see it on screen and see if my ideas match up and make for a good show. And so far, I do like the shots that I have imagined. Oh, you stay there, girl. But it's surprisingly difficult to make them look good. Like I can do it enough. Okay, girl. I can do it enough to say, oh yeah, okay, I like this sequence of shots. But I'm not good enough yet to where it's like, that's something that I would want to show the world. I think I did post one though as a short on one of the channels. I think I posted it with some Sergio Leone movie music. So that's the kind of stuff I'm doing. And I'm getting better, so now I'm filming it in costume to help the imagination. So that's why I'm dressed up today, because we're gonna go saddle up the horse, and I'm gonna get on her and ride her around. Actually, the goal isn't really to ride her around so much as just sit on her and let her eat. So hopefully I don't lose service. I'm gonna set the tripod down here. Actually, I'm gonna set the tripod down because I got this remote microphone going on. Also, welcome, Daryl. Daryl finally made it back. As a regular live stream viewer on the other channel. Okay, hopefully the horses don't knock that camera over. I don't think they will. All right, good girl, let's turn you around. Come on. Come on. All right, you back up. You go over there. All right. So she's a pretty good horse. I can usually just drop her rope. I don't have to tie her up to get her to stand still. Now I got to make her move her face, or else I'll hit it with the stirrup. Now I saddle on the off side, because all you got to do is throw the saddle on, drop the cinch, come over here, grab the latigo. Whereas people who throw the saddle on the what I call the driver's side, the on side, I guess, you got to put the saddle on, walk to the other side, drop the cinch, and then walk back. Uh-oh. Sam's messing with the camera. Hey. No, don't do that. Animals, they always got to mess with whatever I'm looking at. Just like when I stop and look at a bug or look at a native flower, and then my dogs have to run over and trample it. They know. Nope, nope, no, don't walk off. Okay, I did that carelessly. If I was out in the woods, I'd up in the halter. Can be. Fortunately, she's not a difficult horse. I did lose her once though because I was overly confident about her willingness to stick around. She ran off with I posted that video too. Okay, just like that, she's saddled up. Yeah, good girl. Okay. All right, come on. Hey, Sambo. Hey, good boy. I'm sorry the girls push you around. He's looking so much better. When he got here, all you could see was his ribs and his hind end. All bony. Okay. All right, we're gonna. So now, there's no room to. Oh, yeah, one at a time, guys. There's no room to walk her, to ride her through my gate. And I bring along Comanche Moon because we'll be back, Sam. We're gonna leave you alone. Sorry, good boy. He knows. We do this many mornings. Come on. Oh gosh. I bring Comanche Moon along because she's still not good for riding alone. Like, it takes a long time for a horse to gain confidence. Well, some horses, and also helps when you're a good trainer, which I'm not. And so it's easier just to bring her companion along, and that way she's got the confidence of not being alone, and I can ride her more, because otherwise. Okay, so then also it's important to walk her like I'm doing. Not all horses, but her, that's just my method, because the cinch gets really loose. She doesn't like the cinch, so she rears up her, fills up her stomach when I put the cinch on, and then if I don't adjust it, it'll be super loose. Stop walking, stop. See, she hates it. She doesn't like the tight cinch, but it's dangerous because it'll, with her, some horses a saddle can fit pretty good even if the cinch is loose, but with her, the way her withers are, I gotta have it nice and tight because it'll roll, the saddle will roll. Okay, good girl. Now let's see. The other thing that working on with her, it's not hard to train a good horse about this, but for a while, she likes to walk off when I get on. Just like that, she did. So you can back them up a little, and then let them sit here. Really what I should do is get back off and get back on her. Because when they walk forward like that, it's supposed to just stand still. There, that time she didn't walk forward. She wanted to. 2 times there I felt her wanting to, but she didn't, did ya? Because you're a good girl, yeah. Okay, Comanche Moon went that way. We're gonna go this way. Come on, good girl. Take her away from Comanche Moon, force her to have some, see, she turns on her own. No. I'm not gonna do a whole lot of riding because it's, it's distracting with the camera and I need to give her full attention if I'm gonna be riding her. So anyway, I just thought it'd be fun to do the live stream up on Horseback, and so here we are. Watching my favorite hobo cowboy, Daryl. Your favorite hobo cowboy, meaning Daryl, or me, your favorite hobo cowboy? Yeah, glad you finally made it, Daryl. Hey, Jen and Royce. Yeah, I saw you say good morning, and yeah, and then I got distracted. Stop! Stop! You can eat. You can eat or do nothing. See, she wants to walk over there to Comanche Moon, but she doesn't need to. It's not like we're scary distance away. It's just different. No, well, yeah. The show starts at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. So, wherever you are, if you said 10:30, Daryl, you must be Eastern Time. So, yeah, it starts at 10:30 for you, 7:30 for me. It should be the same time as it always was on the other channel, except for when it was at 8:30. See, she can't hold still. So, what? What? When they won't hold still, a training technique is you turn them, sharp turns. Come on. What? Sharp turns until they stop. And then you let them stand still. Let off the pressure of the rein when they stop on their own. There, she just let out a breath. What is your problem? She might be confused about what's going on. I don't know why she's doing this. Could be frustrated. Because she's like, why are we not doing stuff? What is your problem? Hey, hey, hey. Stop. Take her over here by Comanche Moon. Maybe that'll settle her down. Nope. Daryl says I need spurs. I don't. She's actually quite sensitive. I've got spurs. But she's quite sensitive. She'll move off of my feet, no problem. It's just getting her to do what I want her to do. Like right now, she wants to walk over to the pen, and their Comanche Moon is leaving. What's the matter? What's the matter? See, I think she's just frustrated because she doesn't know what we're doing. That's my guess. It's hard to really know. Come on, let's go over there with Comanche Moon. Somebody said it's a bridle. It's actually not a bridle. It functions like a bosal, like a it's just a narrow rawhide rope, or actually I don't think it's rawhide. Made from a lariat. They're fairly common. People use them. She's really sensitive, so that I don't need a bit in her mouth. And I like to not use a bit if I don't have to. See, I think she's confused. Because normally when I get on her in the morning like this, we go out here and do our thing. And so she's confused. She's like, why are we just stopping and standing here? I want to get, and it's not because she likes going and doing the camera filming. It's because it's what she is used to. Horses don't like getting out of their routine. They get confused. People have said that horses are like 3 or 4 year old children, and is the mental capacity they're able to reach. And so when things change, she's like, I don't understand. So anyway, I think that's what's going on with her. Jennifer, yeah, me too. That's why I kept these two. I mean, I loved all the 8 horses that I had at one time. One of them wasn't mine. I had 7 were mine. I loved them all, but and they all had neat personalities. But these 2 were my favorite as far as how they are. Barley Mash is a character. Any offers on the property? Yeah, I checked with the one guy who's seeing if he can get a loan for it. It's a USDA loan, and they're really complicated, of course, because it's government oriented. The government has to make everything difficult. So we'll see. Maybe in 2 or 3 months, I'll know if I've got it sold or not. If not, I'll probably throw it on the MLS and just start putting out promoted Facebook ads for it and see if I can sell it that way. And I need to clear something up because somebody, I won't say your name, somebody thought that by selling the property I was going to be done with my wilderness stuff, but that's definitely not the case. A lot of you probably know my other property, the one that's out in the hills, and it's sagebrush property. So it's more remote than this one. Like right now I can see multiple houses, and there are houses in every direction here. At the other property, there's no neighbors. It's way out. Elk come right by my cabin out there, and so it's even more remote, more suffering, as Daryl likes to say. Less water. That's the benefit of this place, is the creek and the irrigation rights. Out at the other place, I've got an artesian well, but it doesn't flow an awful lot. But I love it out there. It's so silent, so quiet, peaceful. And yeah, so anyway, here she's walking us around. Like I say, we're doing something different. Normally I set up a tripod and I make her walk in the way that I'm getting shots. And so this morning we didn't do that, and I think she's confused and frustrated because she knows, okay, if we go do that, then when we're done, I get to go back to the pen. But I think, like I said, I think this morning she's frustrated and confused because, well, why aren't we doing that? Okay, fine, I'm gonna do my own thing if we're not gonna do what we normally do. And again, I just think it's frustration from being confused. Horses don't like being confused. I don't like being confused. So I get it. How much land do I have in the desert? Well, out there I have about 90 acres. And it's also out around public land. So I can leave my property and go out on public land. You've seen videos. I've done a lot of videos on my property. Well, not a lot on my property. I've done at least one camping video. And then I've done, tons of live videos and cooking videos out there on my property. And I've done a lot of camping videos around my property, out on the public land. Like my most popular video was south of my property, out on public land. So it's rugged, it's wild. I love it out there. It's so much easier to be here though in the summertime, because with that creek and the shade and wind protection, it's just so much easier for man and beast to survive here than the other place. So when I go to the other place, I got to finish digging that hole, and so I've got a cool place underground to get out of the heat and wind, and I got to put up a stable shade for the horses and rain protection. I mean, they've been out there before. Rain protection isn't really huge, but I'd like them to have that option. They don't have it here either. Hey, stop. don't know what she's doing. She's sniffing. Oh, she might be in heat. Are you in heat again? You were just in heat. Poor gelding. She's over there shaming him because he can't perform. All right, what's your problem? Relax. Yeah, anyway, let's see. No, my brother doesn't live near the other property. It's similar terrain, but my brother's place is down in Oregon, Central Oregon, down in Shaniko in that ghost town. Man, my hat brim is really jacked up. I don't like that. Yeah, my other place is just out remote. It's a rough road getting out there, which I like because it keeps people from coming out thinking it's public land. And come on, stop being goofy. So I just love it out there. But like I say, it's so simple to be here. The horses stay on the property here. Out there, the horses can wander, and they can wander onto other people's property, which one neighbor who lives out there, he didn't mind. He liked it when I had Namnumkin out there all stop. And she's feisty this morning. I had Namnumkin out there alone, and she wandered off to the neighbor's property and just hung out there, just standing by his storage container. So I went down there later and asked him, or I saw him later. He said, oh yeah, she was fine. He said, I went out, tried to give her an apple or something like that, and she took it. So she was friendly. That was cool. And I was glad that he wasn't upset. He didn't mind. So anyway, she won't hold still. I thought that she'd be happy to just stand around and eat, because that's what she always wants to do. And I thought that's what we'd do. We'd sit in a place where we got cell service and let her eat. Oh, here comes Comanche Moon. We got too far away, so she's got to run over here from being lonely. Hey, hey, hey. Gosh. I'm not a high energy horse person. I like to just be calm, if y'all haven't noticed. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Somebody over there moving water. Today, there is a mounted shooting contest going on nearby me. So I'm going to walk over there pretty soon. Back when I first started riding, that was my big goal, was to do mounted shooting. But it wasn't long before I started realizing, why am I paying people to ride my horse? You know, you get into horses, you do all these horse events, and they cost money, and they tell you, you can do this, you can't do that. And I thought, why am I paying money to take my horse we can't do? So it didn't take me long to figure out I can just go ride for free. It's hard to find people that can ride. Most people can only ride on weekends. I don't like riding on weekends because there's too many people. So mostly just ride myself, as you all have noticed. Will you stop? Comanche Moon just kicked at her with both. Comanche Moon got both feet up in the air and kicked at her. I think she's in heat because she's acting like an idiot. Hey, stop it. Goofball. Figures. She's sniffing and snorting. Lesbian, apparently. And there's come on. As Wyatt Earp said in Tombstone, I know, let's run it out of him. But I'm not going to run it out of her. Well, so much for being on horseback. So anyway, let's see. So I'm working on my film. I'm excited about my film. I think it's going to be really good. Dilemma with creating, especially, like I'm going to be talking about it, I'm going to be crowdfunding for it. But then the question is, the nervous part about it is it going to be any good? I mean, what I'd rather do is fund it myself with my own money. That way I can make it, see how it turns out, and if it's good, then tell people about it. But my naive optimism, I'm gonna just promote it and then cross my fingers that we pull it off. But I think it's good. I think it's a good story. It's not overly dramatic, which is what I hate about most TV and not necessarily movies. I don't think they do it with movies, but with TV they do it. I call it drama porn because it's like everything is so dramatic. That's why I hate shows like Yellowstone. Like they're tough, and it's just so cheesy to me. And I like simple stories a lot of times, and but there is some drama in it. Like I've got 2 dramatic scenes to open the film because I want to capture the audience attention. And but otherwise, mostly it's like, oh well, here's just a little adventure out on the frontier. Kind of like just a historical story is the goal. Although I'm not basing it off of any historical story, it's totally made up. So anyway, that makes me a little nervous because it's like, well, is the story compelling enough to keep people drawn in? I've got good actors, so I think it's going to be counting on the actors to make it happen, because to bring out the subtlety of the story. So, Tom Fisher, hey, welcome. Yeah, the joy of being retired. Yep, it's so nice to be able to go up on a Monday or Tuesday when a whole bunch of people aren't out. And, let's see, Dead Wolf Resistance, you made it. Here we are. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm practicing for my film. Good. Gotta take her out there a couple of days. I'm out to my other property because that's where I actually want to shoot the film. I don't want to shoot it here where there's a lot of trees and stuff. You see those hills out there? That's more like what my other property is like, where it's a lot more desolate and barren. And that's what I wanted to capture. It's part of the reason I started writing it, was because I wanted to make a Western film that has good clothing, like to do it right with the proper hats and clothing. 2, I wanted to make it where, like I said, like it's a slice of life from the Old West days, not where it's overly dramatized and fictionalized Hollywood crap. And then a third was I wanted to show off my love for my land. So when I wrote the story, I actually had locations around my property, not on my property necessarily, but out there where I thought, oh yeah, this would be perfect for this scene. I had it since where I wanted to shoot it. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to go out there. I'm thinking about doing it this week. We got some cooler weather, so I'm going to trailer them out there, these 2 horses, or at least her, and take some practice shots out there. Because like I said, the practice shots are doubling as practice and also giving me the visual. Like, okay, does what is going on in here actually work on screen? So that's my goal. Get out there, take some practice shots. I might post a few more as shorts when I do them that are decent. Tom Fisher says, just make it. They will watch and enjoy, especially without Hollywood involved. Yeah, that's what I'm on. That's what I'm counting on. That being said, I've seen a lot of. I watch independent films occasionally, like short films, and so many of them are just bad. They're just boring, and so I watch them and I turn them off after a few minutes, and I just don't want to do that. And so I've never made a film. No, I made a film back in 2004 or 2005 when I went to college over in Bothell Community College. That's basically Seattle, for those of you who don't know. And I took a class about Hollywood, the history of film. It wasn't a filmmaking class at all. So they didn't tell us, here's how you work this camera. They didn't tell us, here's how you edit. They just said, the teacher, he just taught us about basically the history of Hollywood and story structure. And then he gave us an assignment in groups to go make a 5-minute film. I had never edited anything. I had barely run a camera except for, home videos. I wasn't even a photographer. And so my story got voted on for one of the stories that we would make. And I ended up making I think it was 12 minutes long. It was supposed to be 5 and it was 12. Anyway, I don't really count it because it's not like I was taught how to do films. But I just watched it yesterday and it was actually really funny. I think it's actually better than I thought. But not in film production quality, but it was interesting to see 20 years ago what natural abilities came out, which that's what I love about it. It's like, here, just take this camera, go to the library and edit it, sign in for the computer, and see what you can do. It's like a great test of what's your natural ability. In retrospect, that wasn't the goal of the assignment, but that's what I got out of it. What's your natural ability? And so it was interesting to see what I came up with. Count Cookie says, yes, I admit you know how to buy property to make a profit, one with a creek, one touching government land. That's good in your old age. Yeah, I figured out how to buy when I was young from my dad, and then I developed more and more ability to buy and sell. And then I learned real estate as a realtor, and so applying my buy and sell property, I saw good deals. A lot of people don't know what makes up important value in a land, like you're talking about, like touching government land, that makes it valuable. Having water makes it valuable. People don't realize that. It's kind of sad. Out at my other property, it's cheap land out there. Like, this is expensive land because it's got irrigation and it's flat and it's got road access. Out at my other property, it's wilderness. You got to ride. You need at least good clearance on your vehicle to get out there. In the wintertime, you can't get out there, most likely. And it's rocky, you can't dig, you can't put in a septic. But people don't know that, so they buy it because it's cheap, and they come out there with big plans of putting in a house, and then they find out how difficult it is. Just being out there hot on you, and like I say, there's no water. And so people buy land out there, and then it ends up sitting, which works for me because then I don't have neighbors, but it's kind of sad. When I was a realtor, I actually turned people away because, my goal as a realtor is asking, okay, what's your goal with a property? And then they tell me, okay. And then they tell me, well, and we want to go look at that property. And so I tell them the honest truth. Well, that property is not going to be conducive to your goals. But other realtors don't do that. They just, oh, you like that property? Okay, yeah, we can get you in that. And then they sell it. And then, like I say, like in the past few years, I've seen a lot of property change hands out there. I watch because I don't want people to buy it. I want it to just sit so I don't have neighbors. And I talked to some of them, and they start out doing stuff, and then, like I say, they just find out how difficult it is. So anyway, it's kind of unfortunate. I think that we should have a system where people, I know the buyer beware thing, but I just think that's wrong, especially when you've got a buyer's representative. I mean, if you've got a realtor representing you, then that realtor, it's really on them to tell the client, um, the realities of the property. Craig says, looks like I got an old but good saddle. Yes, my cowboy buddy, the little bit of cowboy work that I've got to do in my life, he lives back there. He'd get mad if I mention him. He hates having his picture taken or anything. He's an awesome guy. I went over telling him that I told him my dilemma, that I needed a really wide saddle for this horse. I couldn't find a saddle that fit her. So he started looking through his old saddles. And because as a cowboy, you always got to have a string of horses, because you ride one horse every day, you wear them out. And so that means you also need multiple saddles. So he picked out his widest saddles, and he gave me like 3 saddles. He didn't even want them back. And this one he gave me, and it actually fits her pretty well. Not perfect, but pretty dang good. It's about, I think, to be perfect for me, it would be a half inch bigger seat. But I also think sitting forward is better. A friend and I were talking about saddle position in the old days. And it's our theory that in the early days, the cowboys had narrow seats, not like today where a 16-inch is common. The bigger the seat goes, the further back the person gets. So it's silly, because a heavier person needs a bigger seat because their legs are bigger. So you can get so I'm skinny, so I'm sitting up here forward, and that's where you want the weight, is closer to the shoulders, not right on the shoulders. But then the bigger the person, the further I think they need to watch what they eat. Like, I started to gain weight 6 years ago, and I thought, nope, I'm not going to do that. So I watched what I ate so I'd stay skinny, because I didn't want to weigh down my horse. I'm 6 feet tall, and that doesn't help, because, if I was 5'9", 5'10", I'd probably be the same skinniness at about 130, 135 pounds, so I'd be lighter. But, so I got that working against me as far as horse rider goes. Oh, the irony of it. Not like I used my height to get women, so kind of wasted on me. You won't hear that anywhere else. The neighbors are watering there. Something about irrigation that I love. Being out here where desert and dry, but then you add irrigation and suddenly it's green and lush. I leased up. I was going to buy that property first. That's how I found this property. Well, actually, I found this property the same way I found that one, I guess, technically. But how I fell in love with this property. I was buying that one. I leased it for a year, lived on it, and was going to buy it, but I couldn't sell my duplex. It needed a lot of work, but still, I knew the market well enough. I had like 3 buyers on it, and all of them fell through for different reasons, and that was weird. So I started to take it as a sign that it wasn't right. And a couple years later, I was able to buy this one, and this one worked out way better. This one's wild, and I didn't. But financially, anyway. So funny how that works. You don't get what you want, but a lot of times we don't know what we want. We think we want what looks like the right thing. Like, that one's set up better. Like I said, it's off the road. A lot of reason to like that property better. But who knew this one was the better property for me? Who knew indeed? That's why You get enough stuff like that happening in your life, and you really feel like you're watched out for if you pay attention to your inner self and figure out what motivates your inner self rather than. That's why money is a cult. Nobody wants money. People just think they do because of what it brings. But like they always say, all those people with tons of money, and a lot of them aren't that happy. So anyway, that's what my channel's about. Learning to be content. Being happy with less. How in the world could I film a live movie, Daryl? That would take a lot of skill. No, but maybe we'll do a live. Video while we're filming, and I'm hoping to get some behind the scenes shots of it. I'm sure we'll be doing some of that to share a little bit of that. Filming it live. It would be fun though to do a live. Yeah, that's a good idea. Live video of us making it, filming it. Oh shoot, there's things falling off one of her ears. Hey, you goofy horse. Your ears need to hold things in place, Now she's eating. Oh, there, poor Sam. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but Sam's crying out for us. I always feel bad leaving one horse alone. Like I said, from my observations, leaving a horse alone is the worst thing to them. They'll go without food before they'll be alone. And most horse people call that being buddy sour. I call it being a horse. But it does make it difficult if you try to ride one horse. Yeah, I might do that in future episodes, Daryl. So Daryl's saying do some basically like horse stunts, do some scary stuff down a steep hill, jumping things. In the future, I might do that. I actually found a guy, I'm really excited about this. He's got a lot of really well-trained horses for movies, and so I was able to find horses to use, and he's got a wagon and plenty of teams, so I've got the horses covered. And his horses are really skilled. You can shoot guns around him, on him. You can, I don't know how many of them he's got trained to lay down. So when he was telling me that, I was thinking, gosh, for future episodes, that adds a lot of options. So the goal is to create this first episode. It's an episode. And hopefully get enough interest in it. People are like, yeah, that was great. We want to see more. So that then I can raise more money for episodes 2, 3, and 4. And then film episodes 2, 3, and 4 the following fall. And do more stuff then. This first one, I wrote it really simple. There's only one gunshot to keep down any... I shouldn't be telling too many. I wrote it to keep down production costs so I can make it as cheap as possible. Not as cheap as possible, but to make it really cheap. And then, like I say, hopefully gain more interest from it. If things go well. Like I say, who knows? Maybe it'll just be a practice and I'll have to try again. But we'll see. Craig Curtis says, Triumph the Peacemaker. I don't think the Zelensky will go for it. Oh, yeah. Give the rooster a spot in the movie. Yeah, well, the problem is it's all out in the wilderness, so there wouldn't be any role for the rooster. However, in episode 2, I want to have a scene in town, and I've been thinking about how I could do that. And then, yeah, that's a good idea. If I end up having him doing the scene in town, then I could have the rooster there. Maybe have some goofy townsperson carrying the rooster around. We'll see. Daryl says, kiss a rattlesnake. That's cheap. Until you need the anti-venom. And yeah, well, we'll see. Because like I said, it's also part of the point is making it not dramatic, because it's like it's an anti-Western in multiple ways is what I call it, an anti-Western, because it's not indicative of Hollywood Westerns. And like I said, part of that being it's not overly dramatic. Like I said, there is some drama to draw the audience in, but not like where everybody's miserable, barely surviving because they're out on the frontier and all this stupid stuff that Hollywood people think is realistic. Yeah, that's a big comment that people give on these dumb movies and shows that Hollywood's doing is, oh, they're showing the raw reality. It's like, no, they're not. They're showing a made-up reality written by city people. And so I'm really disappointed with that Hell or High Water guy. Hell or High Water was such a good movie, and then he goes off and makes dumb stuff like Yellowstone. Yeah, Tom Fisher says, that would be hilarious to have a rooster following you around in the wilderness. Yes, it would. However, I did see a short film, a Western, where a guy had a chicken. I think he had a chicken. And it was back when I wrote this one. And but the thing is, I'm trying not to go too goofy because I like to write comedy. And there is some stuff that I think is hilarious in this. But it's all subtle, really subtle humor. The only character in it that is not like true to what I think could be like a real character back in the Old West is the lead character, the cowboy. He's a little bit different, and so I'm trying not to go too goofy with him because he's already, or with the movie. I'm trying to make it more like I say, a slice of life out of the Old West without just going goofy. But if I do well at this, then I want to make other things, assuming I enjoy the process and I do well. And then I've got plenty of goofy stuff in mind. In fact, I'm thinking of fake previews for this one that are all pretty goofy. I can't do too many goofy previews if I make these fake previews for it, because I don't want to set the audience up for thinking, oh, this movie that we're about to watch is just a goofy movie. So anyway, that's that. Because I think that movie that I was talking about, the Western that had the rooster, the idea incorporating the rooster was tying him on the back. Or I think, it's hard to remember now if that's what they did in that movie or if that's what I was going to do. But I think in the movie they ate him. No. I remember now. I was going to have a goat following me around. I think that's what I was thinking. Daryl, you got so many ideas. I think you need to start writing scripts. Well, she's calm now. Maybe I can get back on the saddle. What do you think? What do you think, you goofball? Whoopsie. She's licking. You weirdo. What? You don't like that? Touching the cinch, and she acts like she's afraid I'm going to tighten it some more. But if anything, it's too tight. But like I say, she has to be on the tighter end with a cinch, because otherwise her withers are so broad that otherwise the saddle will roll. Why'd you stop eating? I don't know why she's not eating. Okay. I gotta tie this thing on. The lead rope doubles as the reins. Tom Fisher says, turn your 90 acres into Old West tourism. People pay to go on rides and camp out Old West style. With your storytelling, it would be a hit. Yeah. No, that's an interesting idea. The problem is, once you go off of your property around here, you have to have a permit. You have to have a guide permit. And then you got to have insurance and all that. But also, you got to have well-trained horses. But I guess if I didn't incorporate horses, where are you going? If I didn't incorporate horses, then I could just take them out to a cowboy camp. I'm not that great with people, though. I do okay on the videos, but I don't know. And I was good with people as a realtor, but I like being alone. That's why the YouTube videos are my jam. But I want to do tours out to show people will you stop? To show people the foods that grow around there. I don't know why she